Hello there. This is the R.A.F.O.N report. I am JW, and I will be your host. For those not familiar with our channel or our efforts, R.A.F.O.N stands for the Rise and Fall of Nations. Now, before we begin, I gotta throw out a couple disclaimers here for the sensitive ones. Two things, really. My language. I'm an emotional kind of guy, and I talk primarily about things that I am sincerely and severely passionate over. And so, being raised the way that I was, not being beaten down too much by this world, I don't always use pretty language. Occasionally it gets colorful, and I curse. Now, I try to tone it down, but sometimes it just gets the best of me, and well, there you go. That's what it is. The second thing, politically incorrect is my middle name. See, I believe we got to call things what they are. It's the only way you're going to be able to discuss them. It's the only way you're going to be able to figure things out. It's the only way you're going to be able to talk things through. And it's the only way you're going to be able to come up with solutions. So, what do you say we try to dig into what we're doing here today? So, again, welcome to the R.A.F.O.N report, or welcome back if you've seen any of our previous work. We have been away for a few months. We recently had to move. We had been in a home for 10 years and got notice that we had about 2 months to vacate the premises. So we get that taken care of. And about the time we're starting to get things back together again, all of a sudden we have a global crisis. Corona, corona, corona. Man, I have so many emotions about this. So, this is, for those that might be a little familiar, at least with our previous productions, this is going to be a little bit more of a rant video. Now, again, for where people are seeing this on YouTube, I've heard that eventually you're going to have to attempt to monetize the channel, or they could just make it disappear overnight. Now, again, because of the disclaimers that I gave you, because of my language, because of some of the covers or topics that I cover and the way that I cover them, I'm not going to get monetized. So, you know what? If you guys like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, you can throw me a few bucks over on PayPal if you want. I'm going to try it. I'm still working with some new software here, so I'm going to try to figure out how to put something up here in the window. If not, it'll also be in the description down below the box. One thing that I've recently learned here at YouTube, and again, I have been away for a few months, and we had just barely gotten this thing started, was now you have to have 100 subscribers in order to get a custom URL for your page, for your channel. Right now, mine's very, very long and a bunch of letters and numbers. Not really an identity thing, but we got to get boosted up. So you go ahead if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay. Now, one of the things that I like to get across is I'm a human. I make mistakes. I occasionally get into errors in judgment, especially in today's day and age with fake news. There's a whole lot of things that come across your computer screen, your cell phone, and right off the bat you're like, oh man, or it might even make you happy. Well, you go out and you try to share that news, and all of a sudden somebody's going to come along and bust your bubble. Well, you know what? It happens. We all get fooled. So if I say something, on this program that you can disprove, I'm not talking about my opinions. Because my opinions and my feelings and my emotions are mine. They're not up for interpretation. But if I share information in here that you find is false, I ain't got no problem with you letting me know. I ain't got no problem with being proven wrong. We're all wrong on occasion. So again, let's get this party started. Corona, corona, corona. COVID-19. Wuhan-virus. Chinavirus. It amazes me every time one of these new strains of something is released onto the world. We're always told it's a new strain. I don't care if it's bird flu, dog flu, pig flu. It's just amazing. Side note, did you know this is not the planet's first coronavirus going around? There's another one that's still going on right now. It's called MERS. You might want to look that up. MERS, something about Middle Eastern, and I forget exactly what it is, but Middle Eastern something syndrome. That one, from what I can tell from the information that I did look up on it, it looks like that one was discovered, found, or created. I think they said back in 2012. And this started in Saudi Arabia. And since at least 2012, still going on today, that one has been in over 21 countries. So you might want to do some looking into that. Again, it's MERS. And it's another COVID corona style virus. Just from the countries that I remember seeing on the list, most of them are Middle Eastern, hence the name, Middle Eastern something syndrome. So, when the media wants you to be afraid of something, they're going to blow it out of proportion. They're going to get you either just as excited as possible to support something, or as frightened as possible to support something. Fear works. Look around the world. We're on a basic global lockdown. And my heart goes out to those that get sick. My heart goes out for those that have died. I am not one who is saying there is no such thing as this COVID-19 virus. Again, my heart goes out to the people. We're talking over 10,000 people now. I think the last time I looked at the number, it was closer to 18,000. And that is tragic. That is a tragedy to be sure. So, now, that aside, I think the world is witnessing one of the greatest hoaxes people living right now will ever see. Again, not that the virus isn't real. Not that it isn't hurting people. Not that people aren't dying. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to get real with some real numbers. And again, here you bring in the media and all of the other special interests that collectively have convinced the governments of the world, even though there are some people on the top kind of helping to manipulate things. But they've convinced the world that we are going through something akin to the Black Plague. And they'll throw scary boogeyman numbers at you. Oh my God, it's over 10,000 dead. And oh my God, it's over in 180 countries. And aren't you scared yet? And one of the biggest areas where they're grabbing information to scare the hell out of everybody today is Italy. Italy's fatality rate with this virus is right near 10%. Scary enough. But the problem is the media and then all of these lapdogs on the internet and these social media groups, they've taken that number and they're running with it. And that's what they're using to scare the hell out of everybody. Oh, it's got to, that's being kind. I've seen people on the internet say this thing is as high as 40% fatality rate. But again, we have to look at different sets of numbers. We can't just pick and choose the one that suits our current purpose and then just throw it out there. And then that's what you're using to control everybody. Now, again, Italy right now, not as far as the most cases, but they're the most deaths. And they have the highest mortality rate of any other country in the world. And again, it's hovering right around 10%. Again, they'll use that number to try to scare you. But if you want to look at the global numbers, then you've got to get as much information from as many countries as you can.